Good morning, everyone, and my sincere thanks for joining us today. This edited collection called The Developing Researcher Independence Through the Eden Curriculum is a sequel to our first book. When the Hidden Curriculum in Doctoral Education was published in 2020, it generated a great deal of interest, which is really quite encouraging. Now, I'd say that writing these two books is a conceptual journey. We started with a very brief operational definition of the hidden curriculum in the first chapter of this book, but this led to a much more comprehensive definition of the hidden curriculum in the last chapter of this book. The hidden curriculum, we say, comprises all unofficial mechanisms of learning that take place within and outwith academia. Learning via the hidden curriculum is recognized as genuine pedagogical spaces or sites of learning that can extend pedagogical practices by offering support provision for learners' academic, personal, social, and psychological needs. Whereas the starting point in the pursuit of the hidden curriculum tends to be driven by doctoral researchers' ownership of this personal process, the entire doctoral ecology recognizes that there are key hidden curriculum agents who are able to support, empower, and enable doctoral researchers in creating learning pathways that are strategically intended to harness a tailored hidden curriculum based on personal needs and professional aspirations. Now, this definition is a move away from the previous negative connotations of the hidden curriculum. And instead, we focus on the positive impact of incidental learning, unintended learning experience within the doctoral context. And it is worth highlighting it here because we adopted this definition in the second book. Now, the first book also raised some interesting questions, often with a hint of philosophical musings. For example, once found, is the hidden curriculum no longer hidden? Or is the scope of the hidden curriculum restricted to informal dimensions of learning only? Or how can we harness the potential of such doctoral pedagogies? And all these questions suggested that there was much more to explore. And these questions are vital and they deserve further attention. Now, since our first book was exploratory, we wanted the second book to be more applied. And not only that, we would like to examine interlinks between the hidden curriculum and other concepts vital in doctoral education. For example, doctoral well-being and researcher independence, of course. Now, concerning the term researcher independence, we mean scholars' capacity to undertake research tasks with a high degree of autonomy, criticality, confidence, and competence. Now, we propose that developing researcher independence involve an intentional pursuit of interdependence in order for it to be really effective. And what we mean is that we need collaborative pursuits, we need engaged discussions, we need working together, because it is then that development can naturally flourish. We think that that can also create, this collective wisdom, and it can also lead to sustainable researcher communities where further meaningful learning interaction can actually take place. So in sum, we view this researcher independence as something that catalyzes and is facilitated by collaboration, collective effort, community building, and these things. But this conceptualization of researcher independence stands in sharp contrast to what is often perceived, which is actually misunderstood view of developing independence, which means working alone or rising above the crowd. That is not what we meant in this book. Now, just very briefly, I did mention that our first book generated a lot of interest, and the ESRC commissioned 3 reports in order to realize its ambitious vision, first and foremost, but also to address some strong critics over the declining performance of UK universities. And in one of these three reports, that is strengthening the role of training needs analysis in doctoral training, they relied heavily. They drew upon the ideas that we presented in our hidden curriculum book. And that has an impact on the change vision for postgraduate training in the UK. And this is now being widely implemented across UK doctoral training partnerships, particularly the shift from the training needs analysis into development needs analysis. Now, this policy can be traced from what we wrote on page 48 in the book, which was then highlighted and became a main recommendation of this report, which was subsequently translated into ESRC policy, which is indeed very challenging. And in this connection, we hope that the ideas that we presented, in this edited collection, how these ideas can promote researcher independence via the hidden curriculum, can also go beyond simply suggesting or presenting theoretical insights, but it would be much better if these ideas can be translated into practice, that it can lead to substantial positive change in practice in doctoral education. That is our hope. Thank you.